You want to know what makes a hero? It's not destiny.
You have been chosen for Mortal Kombat.
Whoa! Yo! Send me back. I want to go back.
I'm not some champion.
Freeze him!
Me?
Earth belongs.
We do not kneel!
Let's go, baby.
All a part of this now. It's showtime. Die.
In the realm of Ednea, King Jared stands beside his daughter Kidna and places a necklace around her neck. It is a gift from Lord Raiden, meant to keep her safe and allow her to call on him whenever things go wrong. The moment is cut short when word arrives that Shao Kahn has come. Before heading out to face him, Jared tells Kidna to stay strong because war is not on the way, it is already here. The fate of their realm will not be decided by armies, but by an ancient tournament. If one side wins 10 fights in a row, they earn the right to rule the other realm. This is Edenia's last chance. All of their greatest warriors are already gone, and only one fighter remains, King Jared himself, who now has to face Shao Kahn, the most feared warrior in all of Outworld. The two meet on the battlefield where the tension is already heavy. Jared declares that no one will ever kneel to Shao Kahn. His opponent responds by knocking over the king's statue, which sends Jared into a rage. For a moment, it looks like the king might actually pull it off, but Shao Kahn is on a completely different level. He tears off Jared's fingers and drives a blade straight through him, killing him in front of his wife Sindel and his daughter Kidna. With the fight over, Shao Kahn announces that Ednea now belongs to him. The sky darkens and the moon turns deep red. Sindel, consumed by grief, tries to push through the soldiers to reach her husband's body, but is stopped immediately. She is told to kneel or be executed. One by one, everyone around them bows to the new emperor. Everyone except Kidna. She walks straight to her father's body and takes a small blue ribbon from him, something she holds on to as a piece of his legacy. Watching her, Shao Kahn says Jared should have never brought her into this world and declares that from this moment on she belongs to him as his daughter. Time passes. Kidna grows up under the shadow of the Conqueror and becomes a deadly warrior. In the present, she is training with her closest companion Jade. Jade has the upper hand early and pushes Kidna to her limit, telling her to give up. But Kidna uses more than just physical skill. She uses the blue ribbon in her hair as a distraction and sets up a trap that catches Jade completely off guard. She wins, proving that her greatest weapon is not her strength, but her mind. If you made it this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Afterward, the two head back to the palace. Jade reminds Kidna that 20 years ago, Shao Kahn personally chose her to serve as Kidna's bodyguard. She has always known what the Emperor took from her, but even so, the two have always thought of each other as sisters. As a gift for the upcoming tournament, Jade hands Kidna a fan with hidden blades inside it, elegant on the outside and dangerous up close, a perfect match for Kidna's fighting style. Shortly after, the two stand before Shao Kahn as he officially announces the start of the tournament. He has called upon the ancient gods to witness it, which makes clear just how significant this event is. That is when Shang Tsung steps forward with a specific mission. Someone stole a powerful relic from Raiden's temple, an amulet capable of healing any wound. The thief is a man named Kano. The catch is that carrying the amulet requires an extraordinary amount of strength. In theory, only someone with power close to a god could handle it without being destroyed by it. On the other side, Lord Raiden gathers Earthrealm's champions and lays out exactly how serious the situation is. He warns them that once the tournament concludes, an all-out war between realms will begin. The tournament is approaching fast, but they are still one champion short of a full team. That is where Johnny Cage enters the picture. The first time we see him, he is effortlessly taking down a group of opponents, showing off his skill and his massive ego. Then the scene pulls back and reveals it was all just happening in his head. In reality, he is outside signing autographs, and barely anyone is stopping to care, which makes clear that his fame has already faded significantly. While he is packing up his car, he gets an unexpected visit. Lord Raiden and Sonya Blade appear in front of him. They explain the reward for joining is not money or fame, but something far more important, the future of humanity. Raiden tells him he has been chosen by the gods themselves and that the outcome of the tournament will determine the fate of the entire world. Johnny laughs it off and turns to walk away. Then Raiden opens a portal directly in front of him. Johnny goes quiet. Raiden tells him to come along and find out what kind of man he actually is. Meanwhile, the other champions are introduced. Jax Briggs, Cole Young, who is a descendant of the legendary warrior Hanzo Hasashi, and Liu Kang, a fighter capable of controlling fire. There is also a heavy reminder of the cost of this war. Kung Lao was recently killed by Shang Tsung, a sharp warning of just how dangerous the enemy truly is. Hearing all of this, Johnny Cage starts to panic and says he wants out. He openly admits he does not want to die. Sonya fires back without blinking. That is exactly why it is called Mortal Kombat. Johnny says he has no special powers, and that makes him even more nervous. Raiden loses his patience and reminds him that Earthrealm has been challenged 9 times and lost every single one. Now, 20 years later, Shao Kahn is coming for the 10th and final win, the one that hands him control of the entire world. Cole Young steps forward and speaks quietly but directly. Before he joined the fight, he said goodbye to his wife and daughter, the 2 most important people in his life. Knowing he might never see them again does not break him, because if he dies it will be for them. He adds that if they lose this tournament, they do not just lose a fight, they lose Earth and any chance of ever being together again. Sonya keeps pushing, reminding Johnny that underneath the washed-up actor image, he is still a fighter with 10 black belts who could have been a legend. None of it gets through. Raiden opens a portal right in front of him, and Johnny, with a sarcastic smile, wishes them luck saving the world and walks away. Back in Outworld, Shao Kahn performs a dark ritual to resurrect a fallen warrior. He brings back the dead and declares it was not Raiden who decided their fate, but destiny itself under his rule. Around the same time, Kano's body is brought before Quan Chi. Meanwhile, Johnny Cage ends up alone at a bar, drowning his frustration. A stranger approaches, and Johnny, tired and worn down, admits to him that nobody cares about his career anymore. He belongs to a time the audience has already moved on from. In Outworld, Quan Chi completes Kano's resurrection. When Kano wakes up, the first thing he feels is deep resentment towards Sonya Blade, especially the moment she took his eye. Back with the champions, Raiden announces the tournament has officially begun. 2 fighters will be selected for each match. Winners advance, losers are eliminated. Sonya Blade is chosen as one of the first fighters. At that same moment, while Johnny Cage is at home watching old footage of himself from his prime years, he is suddenly transported against his will directly into Outworld, forced into the fight whether he wants to be there or not. Quan Chi questions Kano about the amulet he stole from Raiden's temple. Kano digs through his belongings until he pulls it out. Kitana moves to take it to Shao Kahn, but at that moment a strange mark begins spreading across her skin, a signal of her connection to the tournament. Right after that, Kitana runs into Johnny Cage and quickly explains the rules to him. Each flame represents a fighter from either side, and the tournament ends when one side runs out of fighters entirely. Before Johnny can even process what she just said, Kitana attacks. He barely manages to react. Overwhelmed and completely lost, he ends up climbing onto a rooftop just to buy himself time. Through it all, Shao Kahn watches from a distance, studying every move and sizing up the new challengers. Kitana clearly outmatches Johnny, but when she wins, she chooses not to finish him off. Because of that choice, Johnny is transported back to his team, narrowly avoiding death. Sindel, the Queen of Ednea and now Shao Kahn's companion, is chosen to face Sonya Blade. During the fight, Sindel makes it clear she has fully embraced the Emperor's power and everything that came with it. Sonya is tough, but gets overwhelmed quickly. Sindel can control sound waves, and every scream she unleashes sends a shockwave that keeps Sonya from getting close or landing anything meaningful. Even at that disadvantage, Sonya fights through it with pure determination, finds the right opening, and takes her down. She is sent back to the temple after the win. Johnny Cage comes to as well. Raiden tells him bluntly that he has been eliminated from Mortal Kombat, and that under normal rules he would have been executed. He got lucky. Meanwhile, Kano tracks down Quan Chi and demands what he was promised for his cooperation, a new eye. Quan Chi brushes him off at first, making clear the amulet was never Kano's to claim. But he keeps his word and restores Kano's eye, bringing back his ability to fire a laser beam from it. Raiden approaches Johnny Cage privately. He tells him the gods did not choose him randomly. They saw something in him that he has not yet discovered in himself, a potential he will need to unlock if he is going to be ready for what is coming. At the same time, Kitana slips away to a private location and uses the necklace her father gave her to reach out to Raiden. When the two meet, she is introduced to the champions as a secret ally, someone who has been serving as eyes and ears inside Shao Kahn's empire this entire time. She apologizes to Johnny Cage for going at him hard during their fight, explaining she had to make it look real because the Emperor was watching every second of it. She also shares something critical. Shao Kahn already has the amulet, and if he figures out how to fully control it, he will become nearly impossible to stop. She adds that Jade, her closest friend, is still active in the tournament. She wants to protect her and makes one thing absolutely clear to the team. No matter what happens, do not kill her. But Jade has already sworn total loyalty to Shao Kahn and has pledged herself as his personal weapon. Worse, she has already figured out that Kitana has been working against the Emperor. The tournament moves forward with 3 fights still remaining. Things escalate quickly when Kung Lao appears, resurrected by Shao Kahn and turned into a weapon under his complete control. He immediately attacks with brutal force, sending his bladed hat flying at Raiden and triggering an intense clash. At the same time, Quan Chi gets his hands on the amulet from the sorcerer guarding it, making clear the artifact's fate is his to decide. He explains the amulet must bond with a mortal soul to reach its full power and grant a form of immortality. Immediately after, they move to implant something into the Emperor's chest, a device designed to channel Raiden's own power directly into Shao Kahn. From a distance, Kitana watches it all happen, knowing the balance between realms is about to be broken for good. Shao Kahn faces Cole Young in the next match, while Jax Briggs goes up against Jade. Shao Kahn is clearly enjoying himself, eager to spill the blood of a descendant of Hanzo Hasashi. The fight is intense, but completely one-sided. The Emperor beats Cole down with overwhelming force and kills him. In the other fight, Jade is defeated by Jax, but rather than finishing her, he chooses to spare her life. He reminds her that Kitana showed mercy to one of theirs, so he is returning the favor. The third fight is Liu Kang versus Kung Lao. Kung Lao, now corrupted after being brought back by Shao Kahn, tells Liu Kang that the Emperor opened his eyes and is the only one capable of saving him. Liu Kang fires back in pain, telling him that one of the gods he now looks down on was the one who raised him and loved him like a son, and that he chose to betray all of that. Despite the emotion, they keep fighting and Kung Lao proves stronger, nearly finishing Liu Kang completely. In a last desperate moment, Liu Kang reminds him they were brothers once. Kung Lao, cold as ice, tells him that when their realm falls and they are both dead, then they can be brothers again. Liu Kang, devastated, makes the only choice left to him. He apologizes and takes Kung Lao's life. Afterward, Liu Kang returns to Lord Raiden, who is badly injured and barely holding on. In that moment, Raiden calls him son, making the depth of their bond completely clear. Liu Kang admits through his grief that he had no other choice. Shao Kahn then calls for Sub-Zero to be brought back into the fight, sending one of his most dangerous warriors back into action. Kitana returns to Raiden with a warning. His thunder portal is weakening and will not hold much longer. They also confirm that Cole Young never made it back, which removes any doubt about his fate. She then drops something that changes everything. The Emperor has managed to absorb the power of a god, making him nearly impossible to defeat in a direct fight. The only real option now is to take him out directly and fast. She explains that the palace is heavily guarded and any attempt to open a portal near it will be detected instantly. However, there is another way in, an old tunnel running underneath the castle that nobody watches anymore because it was used by the Tarkatans for service routes. But when Kitana returns to Outworld, Jade has already reported her betrayal to the Emperor. Kitana is captured immediately. On the Earthrealm side, the champions seek help from the Tarkatans. They find their leader, a fierce warrior named Baraka. Liu Kang tries to appeal to him, pointing out that his people have suffered deeply under Shao Kahn's rule, treated as less than human. Baraka dismisses it entirely. The Emperor commands an army nobody can stop, and unless they can offer something better than empty words, they are wasting his time. After the refusal, Liu Kang challenges him to a fight. Baraka turns him down. That is when Johnny Cage steps in and starts deliberately pushing Baraka's buttons. He calls him out as someone who talks big but does not back it up, suggesting that one day Baraka will have to look his own people in the eye and admit he had the chance to fight Earth's greatest champion and back down. That lands. Baraka accepts the challenge, but he does not pick Liu Kang. He picks Johnny Cage. Taking down someone that arrogant sounds far more satisfying to him. Johnny quietly tells his teammates he really does not want to do this. He has no way out. The fight starts, and Baraka dominates him completely from the beginning, making him look foolish in front of everyone watching. His teammates get frustrated and call him out. If he is an actor, then act. Believe it. Something about those words breaks through. Johnny thinks back to his prime, to the days when he walked into every fight already owning it. His entire mindset shifts. With that old confidence back, he starts going toe-to-toe with Baraka and showing everyone in that room what he is really made of. He wins. Rather than hold any grudge, Baraka steps forward with genuine respect and tells Johnny it was one of the best fights of his life. He even asks him to come back someday and share his techniques. As a sign of respect, Baraka personally leads the team to a point as close to the castle as the Tarkatans are permitted to go. Before they part ways, Johnny promises he will return one day to finish what they started, leaving the door open between them. Meanwhile, in the palace, Shao Kahn meets with Kitana. In a calculated act of cruelty, he tells her he had her mother Sindel brought back, but hints that another accident could always happen and that bringing her back a second time would not be possible if her skull were destroyed. Kitana holds herself together and tells him she went to Earthrealm looking for Raiden, but found no one. She claims she is on her own. The Emperor does not believe her. As punishment for her betrayal, he orders her chained in the plaza as a public warning to everyone else. He then turns to Jade and thanks her for her loyalty, reminding her he was the one who saved her as a child. On the other side of the palace, Liu Kang, who slipped away from the group to locate the amulet, runs directly into Shao Kahn. The Emperor mocks him. Liu Kang declares himself the last son of the dragon and fights with everything he has. It is not enough. During the battle, Liu Kang spots the amulet's location. Jax arrives to back him up, and one by one the rest of the team joins the fight. But Shao Kahn's power is overwhelming. In a brutal moment, the Emperor kills Jax directly in front of Sonya, forcing her to watch without being able to stop it. At the same time, Kano runs into Johnny Cage, and the two end up fighting side by side. Kano tries to bargain his way through the situation while using his laser eye to take down enemies around them, hinting that he might actually be useful to the Earthrealm side if given the chance. In the plaza, Jade visits the chained Kitana. She tells her she warned her not to go down this path, but says there is still time to turn back. All she has to do is beg the Emperor for forgiveness because nobody can stop him now. Kitana stands firm and tells Jade she is better than this and does not have to keep kneeling to him. Jade walks away without saying another word. Later, Kano finds Johnny Cage again and reveals he is switching sides for good. He wants Earthrealm to win. He says Outworld, and even Ednea, are dark and joyless places where the simple pleasures of everyday life simply do not exist. Then he shares the critical piece of information the team has been missing. The Emperor has moved the amulet to the Netherrealm, a world of fire, pain, and endless suffering. If they can get there and destroy the amulet, they can strip the Emperor of his absorbed power, restore the balance, and win. Raiden warns them plainly. He is not certain he can bring them back if they enter the Netherrealm. They could end up trapped there permanently. Even knowing that risk, Johnny Cage says it is worth it. He says a quick goodbye and takes the mission. Raiden adds that they are going to need a guide if they want any chance of surviving down there. When they arrive in the Netherrealm, they come face to face with Scorpion. The moment they tell him Sub-Zero has been brought back and is fighting for Outworld, his entire attitude changes. He decides to help and shows them what his territory really looks like, making clear that even in hell he is the one in charge. Back in Outworld, Jade goes to Quan Chi with news. Raiden has sent his last warriors into the Netherrealm, which means the Thunder God is now completely exposed and unprotected. Quan Chi immediately recognizes how dangerous that is. If the amulet is destroyed, the Emperor loses everything. He decides to go after Raiden himself and sends Jade into the Netherrealm to stop the champions. Before leaving, Jade accepts what she is walking into. If Kitana has already made her choice, then she has made hers too. She transforms her dagger and heads in. Sub-Zero makes his entrance in the Nether Realm and declares he is no longer the man he once was. He belongs to the shadows now, and the shadows belong to him. He presents himself as something far more powerful and far more dangerous than before. Scorpion engages him immediately in a brutal fight. While that battle rages, Johnny Cage and Kano fight together and manage to get their hands on the amulet, but neither of them knows how to destroy it. In the central plaza above, Sonya Blade and Liu Kang face Shao Kahn directly. The situation is critical. Just 2 more deaths, and the Emperor takes full permanent control of Earthrealm. In the middle of the fight, Shao Kahn overpowers Liu Kang and kills him. With his last breath, Liu Kang reveals something he had been holding back. Raiden told him before the battle that he was never the chosen one. His death was meant to serve a greater purpose, and his true mission was to bring Kung Lao back. This is not the end. It is only the beginning. Taking advantage of the chaos around her, Sonya manages to free Echidna from her chains even after being knocked down herself. In that decisive moment, Echidna publicly turns her back on Shao Kahn and declares she is fighting for Earthrealm. Her flame reignites immediately, marking her return to the tournament as an active fighter. Without hesitation, she jumps straight back into the battle. Down in the Netherrealm, Johnny Cage is still holding the amulet when enemies try to take it from him. He makes a drastic decision and throws himself into the void below to keep it out of enemy hands. Scorpion continues battling Sub-Zero while Jade arrives and joins the fight. Kano and Scorpion team up alongside her to take Sub-Zero on together. Johnny regains consciousness after his fall. Back in the plaza, Echidna is briefly taken down as well. But both of them get back up, running on pure determination alone. Johnny remembers what Raiden told him about finding the power he has not yet unlocked, and it helps him pull himself together and think clearly about what needs to be done. In one final attempt to manipulate her, Shao Kahn offers Echidna forgiveness. She stands firm and refuses. She knows only one of them is walking away from this. At that exact moment, Johnny Cage destroys the amulet. The effect is immediate. Lord Raiden gets his full power back, just as Quan Chi is on the verge of killing him. At the same time, Shao Kahn loses the godlike power that had been keeping him nearly invincible, leaving him exposed and vulnerable for the first time. Echidna does not waste a single second. She goes all in with everything she has, determined to finish what her father could not. While Raiden fights off Quan Chi, if you made it this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Shao Kahn wraps his hands around Echidna's throat and tells her she is weak just like her father. Those words do the opposite of what he intended. They push her harder. She thinks of her last moments with Jared, reaches up and uses the blue ribbon as a symbol of everything he stood for, finds a surge of strength she did not know she had left, takes full control of the fight, rips off the Emperor's mask to reveal his mortal face to everyone watching, and takes his head. His reign is over. With the tyrant dead, every soldier and warrior around her drops to one knee. Echidna looks out at all of them and refuses it. She declares that the people of Ednea are proud and they bow to no one. Even so, she is crowned as the new queen, restoring her realm's honor and freedom after decades under a conqueror's rule. Sometime later, Johnny Cage reflects on what it truly means to be a hero. He says a real hero is someone who, even in the deepest darkness, can still make out a small light and chooses to fight toward it. Someone who can face loss, find peace on the other side of pain, inspire the people around them, and trust that those people will be there to lift them back up when they fall. That reflection turns out to be a story Johnny is telling to a group of young Tarkatans, who sit listening to him with complete attention. Outworld has been defeated and Earth is safe, but the cost was enormous. Many champions did not survive. Still, there is hope. Someone with the power to bring back the dead may make it possible to restore those who were lost. And that is where the movie ends.